Christy Thomaskutty, the women's basketball coach at Emory, joins us today. Coach, your team just kind of wound up a busy stretch of games Saturday with a setback at Maryville.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I think the 6 games in 2 weeks definitely caught up to us. I didn't think we really had our legs in our shots on Saturday. And all credit to Maryville. They played a great game on both ends of the floor. And I just thought we let our offensive woes really affect us in all other aspects of the game.
You know, team's 8-1 after 9 games, second best start in school history. What's your assessment of the team so far?
You know, I give our leadership a lot of credit, I give our upperclassmen a lot of credit for really establishing the work ethic, establishing how we're going to practice every day and how we're going to compete in games. And I thought for the first 8 games, I was really pleased with that. I thought our team came out and was very focused on the preparation and in their execution of game plans. And then unfortunately, you know, the wheels kind of fell off up at Maryville this past Saturday. But overall, you know, it is one game, it was a loss, but I know we're going to learn from it and we're going to continue to get better.
What are some of the things you think your team can improve upon after 9 games?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, I think you just look at the stat sheet. We've got to get better at the free throw line. I mean, we're knocking them down in practice, and for whatever reason, you know, we're not consistently doing that in games. And then rebounding margin, we've got to continue to improve on. And then I think the one thing that's really concerning me right now is just field goal defensive percentage. We've got to do a better job of getting a hand up in people's faces and trying to dictate the kind of shots that we're allowing our opponents to take on us.
You talk about your team's defense this year. You know, it's been a lot of high pressure, high energy defense. It's forced a lot of turnovers, and you know, you have to be pleased about what you've seen from that aspect.
Without a doubt. I mean, I think our veterans have picked up where we left off a year ago, and then I can't say enough about Eileen and Khadijah and what they've done coming in as freshmen, their on-ball presence, and what they've been able to do to the opponent. You know, by far, we're not ever going to be one of the biggest teams on the court, and so we're just trying to speed teams up and take them out of their half-court game, and I really have been pleased with that overall to this point.
You know, talk about, you mentioned it briefly, playing a lot of games. It was like 6 games in 2 weeks, and it's just, you know, it just seems that you have a game and another day later you have another game. You know, talk about like the preparation that you and your staff put in, and you know, I think people see the end product when they're out watching the game, either in person or on the video. But you know, talk about the preparation that you and your staff do.
Well, I think players love it, you know, because it's a one-day prep, and then they're playing most of the time the last 2 weeks. From a coach's perspective, you know, like we're working out a couple of days, and sometimes even a game before, just because of the quick turnaround to get film ready, to get scouting reports ready for our kids in order to make sure they're prepared for the next game. And I think sometimes when you're prepping, unfortunately, we're not getting better because we're just getting ready for game mode. And I think that was the result on Saturday. I feel like what we've really been in is this mode of playing and prepping versus really getting back to some of the fundamentals of closeouts, of shooting and whatnot. And so, you know, for me, I'm really looking forward to this next week where we can really get back to Emory basketball and get back to some of the basics. And so, you know, overall, it's hectic. I think players love it. Coaches, or a coach like myself, I'm happy to get some practice time back under our belt.
You know, finals are coming up, and then your team breaks for the holidays. You know, what will be the focus of your practices from here before they leave, and what will be the message that you give your team as they depart for the holidays?
Well, I think the focus this week is definitely going to be getting back to the basics, both fundamentals of offense, defense, and rebounding. You know, those 3 facets we need to improve on before we leave here. A little bit of conditioning in there as well, because we just don't want to lose everything that we've done to this point. And the message to the team is simple. You know, be proud of what you accomplished, but by no means was your goal for the season to be 8-1. And so we've got to continue to get better over the break. They need the mental break as much as anything right now. They need the physical break. And so I want them to spend time with their family, recharge both mentally and physically, and then come back here on the 26th ready to get better and prepare for Piedmont.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks very much for your time, and we'll be catching up with you soon.
Thanks, John.